and welcome back. Today Travis and I are canning ground beef, and we wanted to bring y'all along with us and show you just how easy you can can your ground beef to fill your pantry. And you'll have a meal in a jar ready whenever you get ready for your supper. It's easy. All you do is already cooked. You just have to heat it up and cook it with whatever you want your recipe to be, and you have your dinner ready within 30 minutes by having this in your pantry. So come on and let's get started. Okay, these are the supplies you're going to need for canning. You're either going to need a pint jar or a quart jar. We like using a quart jar because you can get around 2 pounds of ground beef in that, and that's what we like to use. You can get 1 pound in a pint jar. You can use wide mouths or regular mouths. We have more regular mouths, and that's what Travis likes to use. You're going to need some vinegar to clean the top of your jars with, and a clean paper towel. You're going to need a little magnet lifter to get your lids up without touching them. And then you're going to need a jar lifter to take them out of the cooker once it turns off and all the pressure releases. It's still going to be real hot, so you're going to need a jar lifter to get them out. You're going to need a debubbler stick. You're going to need salt to add to your beef broth or whatever you choose to use for your liquid. And we use this number 10 can back here to fill our pressure canners with. And you're going to need a pressure canner to can ground beef. And this is what you're going to need to do ground beef with. The first steps to canning ground beef is to get your ground beef cooked. So we're going to start off by opening up this tube of ground beef, and we're going to shred it just with our fingers and tear it into little pieces so it cooks down easier and faster. So come on and let's get started. The reason you want to break up your ground beef like this into little pieces is because you cannot can ground beef and just pack the jar, or you're going to wind up with one big chunk of meat cooked after it's canned. So this is why we do it this way, so we don't have one big chunk of meat. Okay, now that we've got it all broke up, we're putting it in this big pot and we're covering it with about 3 inches of water. This is the way we like to cook our ground beef. You can cook it in the oven in a roasting pan and drain the grease. We do it this way so we can boil it, and we put the water over it, and then we just strain it up out of the grease. There's other ways to do it, but this is the way we like to do ours. You could also cook it in the skillet on the top of the stove and drain the grease. Whichever way you choose to do it, you just want to make sure you get your ground beef all the way done until it's no longer pink. Canning ground beef may not be the prettiest thing to look at, but you'll be glad to have it on your shelf for tacos, spaghetti, lasagna. Just ready to go when you're ready to cook dinner.
Be more better than good, just like I know they would. Me and my jambalaya. Now I just need some crawfish pie.
We're canning our ground beef. We pre-cooked it and got it ready. And now we're straining it to get all the grease off of it. We like to do our ground beef this way because it gets all that grease off of it. So when you can it, you don't have so much grease in your meat when you use it for spaghetti or like tacos.
And ooh, it looks so pretty.
And look at all that grease that's come off of it. Doing it like this, boiling it ahead of time, and you cover it with about 3 inches of water. It helps get that grease out of your meat so it's not in your canning jars. And now it's time to fill the jars. When canning your ground beef, still always remember to give yourself that 1-inch headspace in your jar. Okay, now to fill our jars, we're using beef broth. And we're going to use 1-quart jar. And we're going to add it to this little kettle right here. And heat it up. And to that, we're adding 1 tablespoon of salt. Instead of adding it to each jar, we're adding it to our mixture. We're going to let that warm up and dissolve that salt and put it in our jars. Right here we'll have 21 meals for our pantry shelf, canned in a jar, ready to go. We like putting these in our pantry for convenience and fast meals. And now we've got to debubble. And don't forget to use your white vinegar with a cloth or a paper towel and clean the top of your jar real good to make sure you get all the extra grease that might have come off the meat while you're loading the jar. Plus, always check for any chips or cracks in your jar, because that will keep you from getting a good seal. Okay, I saved one right here to show y'all. When you're putting your lid on it, use your little magnet lifter to get your jar lid out of the water. We spoil our lids. Some people don't, but we do. Helps sterilizes them. And then the way I do it is I put my lid on my jar. I put my finger right there. Put my jar where I can get to my rim. And I just set it down there. And you want to get it fingertip tight. Not too tight, just fingertip tight. But I saved that one so I could show y'all how to put your lid on your jar. For our canner, we put 1.5 number 10 cans with a splash of vinegar, because you don't ever want your canner to give out of water while you're pressure canning the 90 minutes. And now it's time to load the canner. And now we got to pressure can it for 90 minutes for quart jars. 75 per pint. Okay, our timer just went off for our 90 minutes. So now we're going to cut them off and let them cool down. And once the little thing over here goes down and the little weight stops jiggling, that means it's safe to open your canner. And then we're going to be able to get our jars out and get them ready to store. Okay, y'all, our jars have set here and we've let them cool down now that we've had them out of the pressure canner, and they've actually cooled down enough where I can touch them. And I'm going to show y'all one. That's what it looks like. Now look how pretty and simple that will make your dinners at night when you want to have lasagna, tacos, beef stroganoff, whatever you want to cook. You would have these convenient meals in a jar ready to go when you're ready. So I hope y'all enjoy this video, and I hope this helps y'all if you decide you want to learn how to can some ground beef. If you find it on sale, snatch it up and put it in a jar. Thanks for watching. And and if you like our video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. It helps our videos get out there. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.